Can everyone see my fancy little screen here? My presentation?
Yes.
All right. So welcome to Streamline Your Business with 17 Hats, a 17 Hats overview. My name is Sabrina, and I am the owner of Couture Cakes by Sabrina. Thank you so much for joining. Here is a quick overview of our agenda topics. We're going to cover what is 17 Hats. We're going to cover the key features and the overviews. We're going to do a live demo inside 17 Hats. I'm going to show you my setup, my workflow. We're going to go over reporting, scheduling, and client communications, and do a Q&A and talk about next steps if you're interested in getting 17 Hats. So everybody in here is a cake artist. So thank you so much for joining. A quick overview. My name is Sabrina. Again, I'm a luxury cake designer turned educator. I'm a 17 Hats ambassador for the 25-26 year, advocating for systems and automation. And I help creatives stop feeling overwhelmed and start running their business like CEOs. I'm not sure if you guys saw my ad out there, my 17 Hat story, how I started using 17 Hats in 2018 due to the fact that I forgot about a client's order. And I was using paper and not really having a full handle on my business and didn't have that professionalism and that visibility that I needed to run my business. So I've been using 17 Hats since 2018. I swear by it. Those who have taken my educational courses know about 17 Hats and how I recommend it. And a lot of my students are using 17 Hats to run their businesses also. Okay. So what is 17 Hats? 17 Hats is an all-in-one business management system designed specifically for solopreneurs and creative professionals, photographers, designers, cake designers, event planners, coaches, stylists, and other service-based entrepreneurs who manage everything themselves. I'm a solopreneur right now. And, you know, I currently manage all my business operations. But with workflow and automation, it creates a seamless process for me dealing with my clients. One of the things that I had mentioned prior is that in my ad, I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, is that with 17 Hats, it manages the workflow where it creates automation where I'm seamlessly creating tasks for the clients to do, which keeps it in motion where they're not stagnant, which in a sense doesn't keep them waiting on me for things to happen. And we'll get into the workflow and the reminders and the email automations, which makes it seamless and possible. 17 Hats replaces the CRM tools, your scheduler, your invoices, your bookkeeping. Like I said, it automates your workflow, saving you hours each week. It's available on both desktop and mobile devices. It gives you real-time insight into your leads, projects, and finances, and it integrates your calendar, email, and payment systems. And also, guys, in beta right now is texting. So I will show you the texting feature. It's amazing where you can text your clients. There's additional setup fee, of course, for that. But I am currently testing that, and I'll show you how it looks. All right. Getting ready to get into the overview. Are there any questions so far? I said a lot. I said a whole mouthful. And I don't think I took a breath. All right. All right. So here we have the 17 Hats dashboard. This is the main section that everyone should come to when they start their day. This is where you will see your calendar, you see your recent activities here, you see any emails that might have come in from the clients that you need to respond to, and then you see on the left-hand side your different tabs. You have your dashboard, you have your contacts here, your leads, any projects you might have, your calendar, your pipeline, which is new clients that might have come in into the pipeline to track their progress and how long it's taking them to get through the process. You have your bookings here, your to-dos, your documents, your workflows, and your bookkeeping. The bookkeeping is where you hook your account information, where you're able to track and tag your expenses to develop your profit and loss statements for the end of the year tax purposes. You're able to see how much money's come in. You're able to tag your accounts or tag your transactions. It is seamless. So what I want to do now, if there are no questions, is take you through the beginning of a workflow. I'm going to show you how it attaches to your website, how a client comes in. I'm going to create a test account, how a client comes in to 17 Hats, and how we'll be able to track it through the workflow. Are there any questions so far? All right, holler if you hear me. I'm just kidding. All right, so here we have my website. Well, wait a minute, let me show you this first. So if you go here, I'm going to show you under account settings. There's lead capture forms here. So what I'm getting ready to show you is the lead capture form on my website. And it gives you here options to install it. You can link it directly here to your website, Facebook, or link it somewhere. But here are the questions that I set up, and I've attached it to my website. So I want you to see the back end first before we go directly to the website. Okay. Okay. So if I go to get in touch here, this is the 17 Hats form. So let me create Sabrina test. Let's pick my birthday as the event date. Okay. So let's say birthday cake. TBD. Let's say the guest count is 75. I don't know any of that yet. So here is where where you would put onto your form if a person wants to opt into text messaging. I want to say yes to this. And I'm using my business phone number here for text messaging. So I'm going to submit it. I have an actual welcome video here for my clients, so we will bypass that. So if you go here to the dashboard, you will see here that I have a new lead came in. And if I click on here, the project, I have a workflow here that I created called Luck Celebration Client Journey, which is lead phase 1. It has my email address here, my date of my event, my phone number. I'm a hot lead. I'm not a client yet because I haven't booked yet. And if you go here, it shows the lead information here. It shows my project under leads here. Under pipeline, it shows I have one item in the pipeline, right? And I have a tag here called confirm availability. That's an action on me. I have to confirm the availability of the client. So that's currently in my pipeline. And let me go back to the dashboard here. Are there any questions before I move forward? I don't want to move too fast if there are questions.
Yes, I had a question about the form.
Yes.
So the initial form that you did was like it's inset in your on your website. Can you do also pop-up forms or stuff like that as well? Or if like you have a special or you're doing something, can you do forms for that as well?
There's no pop-up form, Jeb. I don't think there's a pop-up form, right?
I'm going to check that real quick, and just to make sure that we're talking about the same thing, you can have multiple forms. So if you're referring to like having a separate form for a special that you're running, that's separate from like your contact page form, you can do that. And then while Sabrina moves forward, I'm going to check to see, because I do actually think there's a way to put it into a modal pop-up window if you use those, but I'm going to check to be sure about that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Not yet.
Okay. So let me go here. Where is my, okay. So I don't see, okay. So here under recent activity, where is my text message? See under here, there's a contact section here and it says SMS status. I have opted into the SMS, so I subscribe to it. So let me find, so let me go to my Google number so that we can see in real time, because for some reason, I think that I have to opt into the Google first, the chat, for me to see it on the screen. I'm not sure. I usually do it on my phone. So let me go to Google Meets or Google Voice. So if I go here, it told me here that your inquiry has been received by Couture Cakes by Sabrina. We'll be in touch soon to begin designing your experience. So I have an auto-generated email letting me know we received your inquiry. You're now subscribed to Couture Cakes by Sabrina's alerts. So that's the initial intake process. Okay. And then on the opposite end of this, I got an email letting me know, that was myself, Sabrina, sending myself Couture Cakes by Sabrina emails, 2 different emails, letting me know that the inquiry was received. And now we're going to talk about the workflow. So you can set up auto-generated emails letting the client know your inquiry has been received. They can either look at your frequently asked questions or sign up for a 15-minute consultation. So this gets into the whole workflow and making sure that the process runs smoothly. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but the auto-generated email was established. So now let's get into the workflow on my side. Okay. So now I've created a workflow, a custom workflow for my client's journey. So this workflow, it's a process that I train all my students on, and it creates more of an elevated experience for the clients. So the first thing I'm going to do is check my availability. Am I even available? Am I available for the order? So we're going to check here that I'm available. So when I go here to the pipeline under confirm availability, make sure. It's not going to change until after I go here to the consultation link. So if I go to projects, I confirm my availability. That's great. If I'm not available, I have an option here to send them an email with regret and send referrals to them. But we are available, so we're bypassing that option. So with me being available, I'm going to send them an email saying, I'm excited to work with you. Here is the, we're available for your project date. Here's a link to schedule the time that works best for you, blah, blah, blah. And here's a link to our frequently asked questions. So I'm going to send that email out. Here it is on the other side. So I'm a client. They got this email. Okay, well, let me schedule a time to meet with Sabrina. This is the scheduling aspect of 17 Hats. Based on my availability, I can schedule a time to talk to them based on what time works for my calendar. So I can schedule it for tomorrow at noon. Let's just schedule for tomorrow at noon. Test. We're going to book it. All right. So it's booked. The 15-minute consultation is done. So that's done. All right, let me find my screen back. So that's done. We're waiting on their response. All right. So once they schedule the 15-minute meet and greet, we'll do the phone call based on their preference. Let's just zoom through this. They've already told us that they're interested in moving forward, so there's no delay here. So what I did here is, in case I don't hear back from the client, I have a little bit of a lead time here for them to get back to me. So if I don't hear from them and they don't respond to me, letting them know that I want to work with them, I'll send out another email saying, hey, just want to know if you got our previous email. Our schedules are filling up. We love to work with you. Here's our calendar again. But since we scheduled something, we're going to bypass all of these steps. Actually, I would delete them. So actually, the client desires to move forward. So we're going to do that. When the client desires to move forward and they schedule the call with me, it actually takes me to my next step in the workflow, which is the client discovery phase. I'm going to stop here. Any questions?
Yes. In terms of the schedule, is your schedule already in 17 Hats, or is it linked to like another? Okay.
No. Okay. I guess I should have said that. And that's good. Please stop me, because I can go on and on. I have online scheduling in here. So I used to use Calendly before I used this, but 17 Hats has everything all in one swoop. So based on your availability, I have two calendars here. I have my 15-minute consultation. And I have my taste and sip, which is my cake consultation, where they actually have a tasting. I have my availability here for my taste and sips, which are when I have my cake tastings. And then I have my availability for my 15-minute consultation, which is here also.
So the client can see the calendar, they can ask for a time, and then you confirm the time and say, yes, I am available. Let's do this.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So it's based on when I have available here. So hopefully they're selecting, when I have available. But if not, I can open up the calendar for a specific time for them that's not listed and accommodate them.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Anything, other questions? Is this helping
Sabrina,
everybody?
do you mind if I add on to that a little bit?
Please do.
Yeah, I was just going to say that so you can sync your Google calendars to 17 Hats. So you can have your online schedule cross-check any Google calendar that you have to make sure that you're actually available, so that you don't double book and that kind of thing.
And mine is actually connected to my Google Calendar. I'm glad you said that. So under calendars, here's my Google Calendars. These are my Google Calendars that are connected for my 15-minute meet and greet. It was last synced yesterday or today, this morning. So it is actually looking at my Google Calendar to determine my availability.
Okay, one more question then.
Sure.
Is it only Google Calendars? I have an iPhone. Can I connect it to that calendar, or is that not a thing?
So we only do two-way sync through Google Calendar, but we do have users. Obviously, tons of users are on iPhone. They'll either install the Google Calendar app to their iPhone, which is what I've always done in the past, or if you really like using iCal, there are third-party apps out there that you can basically, you get your iCalendar to talk to Google Calendar, and Google Calendar talks to 17 Hats. So you still set up a Google Calendar and you just have those kind of talking to each other. And there are some help articles out there to help you with that. But as far as native two-way sync, Google Calendar is where it's at in 17 Hats.
Okay, and do you guys have connections with like Zapier or whatever it's called, the Zap thing?
Yeah, Zapier.
Okay.
Or Zapier, however you like to say it. We do.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. The good questions. Any other questions before I move forward? I want to make sure I'm not moving too fast because it's a lot of information here. So I'm sure I won't get through everything, but I at least want to get through the core functions. Okay. Let me go back to my dashboard. Okay. So let me see, where was I at? I was at the project tab. So we actually created the calendar. We're on phase 2 of the project. We have our 15-minute phone consultation scheduled tomorrow. I sent well, this send online scheduling link is for those who didn't automatically respond to the email. I talked to them on the other step. They want to move forward. I've sent them the link. This is obsolete. So the phone consultation is scheduled tomorrow at noon. Let's pretend it's already done. We're clicking that off. So these are notes that I've added to my consultation. So after that's done, I want to send an email to them saying, we talked today. It was great talking to you. Our cakes are at this price. Here are the flavors. If you're interested in moving forward, here is our link to schedule our taste and sips, which are on the Saturdays of each month. This is our fee, blah, blah, blah. Send an email now. So we sent the email. Oh, I forgot to add. I have an approval pending. When they send the request for a 15-minute meet or greet, I make it so that I have to approve it first to make sure that I'm actually available. So if I go back, let me close this website. So if I go back here to my dashboards, under bookings to approve, where am I missing that? To approve my booking. I think it's under the projects. Am I missing something, Jeb?
It
Where
should be under bookings, the bookings tab right there.
Where am I?
Either on the project page.
Oh!
Yep. And then it's
All
also
right.
in the left rail. There's a bookings
Okay.
tab in the left rail too.
So I want to confirm here that I have accepted the 15-minute meet and greet. So once I confirm that, they will get an email saying it's confirmed. So I do that as a guardrail in case, initially I said I was available, but then something happened on my calendar and I didn't change it. I need to just do a cross check and make sure that I'm actually available. Okay. So if we go back here to the projects, we had our 15-minute meet and greet. The taste and sip has been paid for. We sent them the invoice, which is through the scheduling tool. So if I go here to our online scheduling, we set it up so that they can actually pay through the portal. So here it takes the payment. So they pay for the actual tasting. So once they pay for it, let me go back to my dashboard here. I'm sorry for all the movement, guys. The fee has been paid. So I actually set up a questionnaire, a taste and design questionnaire. This questionnaire is what I send out to couples. Their names, get their planner information, their spending allocation, their keywords, their palettes, their inspiration, upload any additional inspirational photos and their preferred flavors. And I have them submit this to me, the questionnaire. Once they submit the questionnaire, then I will prepare for the tasting and sketch out their cake. So we're going to bypass all of this. We've done all this. We're pretending we have. And then it's going to take us to phase 3. Any questions? All right. So we conduct the case tasting. It's a success. Let's get into the quote. The quote is it's huge in 17 hats. So let me jump out of here and actually go to the quote, contract, and invoice section. Okay. Okay, where am I going? Why am I having a brain fart?
Because you're presenting. Just go up to, yeah, go. You're in the right spot. You just need to go to the documents and emails where it says account templates.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But we still have to set up the invoicing and the
Right. Quotes, contracts, and invoices are documents. So if you do like new template, you'll get the option to make it a quote.
Okay. So let me go to my existing template then. So let me go back to the project and pretend like I'm getting ready to prepare it. Okay. So here we have our invoice or our quote. So we're gonna edit this quote. Here we have our display name and we have the valid until. Typically for my tastings, I allow the quote to be valid for 7 days after the tasting is finished. So we're going to name this, let's just name it quote. Okay, we're going to do it. Okay. We have our wedding cake contract here. It's a non-wedding cake contract because it's a celebration cake. And here we have our template, which is in the 17 hats documents, a section that we were previously looking at. It's already attached because I know based on my workflow that this is a celebration cake. So we have our tags in there. It's automatically filling in the name, the location, our date, and our start time, our contract due date, and the name of the customer, and all the pertinent information here that I have boilerplate language in for a non-wedding cake. And then we have our standard items here. Since I don't typically have standard items, I don't have anything populated here because everything that I primarily do is custom. So let's just say celebration cake. And we're going to say $1,000. I'm going to spend $1,000 on my cake. And this is a test. And for the sake of income categorization for our bookkeeping side, we're going to say celebration cake sales. Okay. And let's choose delivery and setup. We go into the DC area, so it's $100. Okay. And we're going to save that. Okay. So, oops. So our total is $1,100. We're going to save this. If I want to do a payment schedule, say, for example, the event is far off and, we're in October, but, I don't want to pay everything at one time. So let's do 2 payments. And I know I'm getting a little deep in here for it to be high level, but let's do a 50% down payment. And then the remaining balance would be due a month prior, which would be October 27th. Okay. And then we can allow automatic payments also. So we're going to save this. We're going to preview it live to make sure that everything looks good. Here we have our celebration cake, delivery and setup, our test, 50% down. The remaining balances is due on the 27th. We're going to accept the terms here. And let's view the contract next. So the contract here, I didn't put in a time of my event. I kept it, I guess, generic. I didn't take the time to complete it. But if I had have taken the time to complete everything, it would be here. My name is Sabrina Test here. I can type in my name here and it would automatically accept. Oh, it's going to make me go in here and initial everything. Sabrina Test. Any questions while I'm filling out the initials? Okay. So then I'm surprised it did that. I'm surprised I didn't do an automatic sign. Okay. So if I go here, let me send the quote. This is to send the quote email to the client. I was pretending like I was the client by actually doing the live view, and I shouldn't have actually signed the contract. I just totally messed up my whole step. So forgive me for that. Technically, I was supposed to send the email first. The client receives the email, and then based on that, they actually go in and review it. So I just totally messed up on my own process. It's different when you're actually showing it from, okay. So here is the email you get. You have received a quote. Great. So let's review the quote. So this is it from the client's perspective. I accepted it even though I wasn't supposed to. So here's the next view. I already signed it, wasn't supposed to. So here is the invoice. This is what it looks like. See payment details. You can pay it. And that's the half of it's due today. And then the other half will give me an alert letting me know when the other half is due. That's that. Okay. So workflow. Did that. Trying to think. So when I finished that, I automatically went to a client. Because since I went through sending the quote, the invoice, and the contract, I'm actually a client now. So if you notice, it went to this section here. And here, if you saw, I'm waiting for my signature. So since I had to sign my own contract, why is it not working?
It's at the top. The green button at the top.
All right, so I signed my own contract. So let's go here and see what the SMS status is doing. So here, we're going back and forth between the SMS. I totally forgot about it, but at the same time, I'm getting text messages from Couture Cakes by Sabrina over Sabrina Tests. So let me text myself something. Can we reschedule the 15-minute? Now remember, we didn't have the meet and greet yet. We're fast forwarding, but yeah, to today. I just want you to see how the text has come through. Okay, so that's done. Here on Google Meet. Can we reschedule the 15-minute meet and greet for tomorrow? So I got the text message. This is my number in 17 Hats based on my area code. So the text message came through. I'll say, sure. Okay. And if I go back here. Sure, it came through. So you can talk to your clients via SMS text also. And that's a quick way for clients to be able to talk to you, and it opts for a quick response. I feel like I'm missing stuff. What else could I? So I sent the proposal. I sent the invoice. We did the electronic sign. I showed you how to collect deposits. What else, Cash? Maybe I'll show you more the back end. Are there any questions about something that I have shown so far?
I was curious about the payment processor. Who is that done through?
Let me go there. Invoice options, maybe. Square or Stripe.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, Square or Stripe. I think I'm actually using, who am I using? I'm actually using Square.
Okay, that's great.
And in case you do sign up and you're confused and you're like, I thought they were Square. We only show Stripe, but if you need Square, get in touch with support, the little green bubble at the bottom right, and they can help you out.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. So let me go through the account settings. I'll just go through some of the back end for you. There's just so much here that I could go through, easily over an hour. You have your brand specifications here, your images, your fonts to set up your own branding here. Your texts, you have your email settings here. Of course, we had mentioned that it's set up with Google, your signatures, your reminders. You can set up when a client's reminded as far as when an invoice is due, quote reminders, confirmation emails, whether or not you're sent on the email that you sent to the client, you're copied. Again, we mentioned calendars here, your Google calendars are connected to my calendar. You have a client portal, and the client portal is a section where a client can get all of the documentation in one place. So that you can send them the actual portal link so they can look at their invoices, their quotes, and their contracts all in one place. We went
Do
through
they
our
ha-
online. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. For the
No.
client link, then is it a view or do they have to log in, or how does that part work on their side?
So I actually send. So let me actually show you based on my project that I created. Oh, so this is a portal of what I created here. I'm looking at it from a client's perspective. So here is, they would actually click, you'd actually have to log, well, let me put it this way. You can actually set it up so it's password protected. You can email them with a PIN. You can set up a PIN for them based on their wedding date. And if you don't set up a PIN, they can just click on the link and get directly into their portal.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, I had a quick one. Are
Okay.
you able to set up like email templates
Oh,
for when
yes.
you're sending out not invoices, but to help you like go along your workflow?
That's huge. Yes, there are email templates here. I have all of these email templates. Everything is defined by a template for my workflow. It took me a minute to, I won't say it took me a minute to build, but I've been using this since 2018, so I have my stuff basically defined. But yes, there are email templates here. I have, let me pick one up. Here is our 15-minute meet and greet email. So you set up the email here, you add in the client token, which is the first name, you add in your text here, and you have your actual signature there. So there are a bunch of email templates. There's a contract email template here. You have received a contract. Everything is basically template based. Is that helpful? Okay. Okay. You see all these different emails. I'm not using all these emails, but I have them up. But there are emails for invoices coming up. Some of these are boilerplate too. These are boilerplate templates that come with 17 hats. So everything does not need to be customized. But your email to your client, if you want to personalize it, like I did, your welcome email, thank you for contacting me, your lead email. I did customize that because I wanted to personalize it. Is this the thank you for contacting me one? Yeah, this is the thank you for contacting me email that I showed earlier. That's personalized because I wanted to, and that's attached to lead autoresponder. That's my autoresponding email when they submit my inquiry. They submit an inquiry on the website. So that's an autoresponder. You have your quote templates here. You have your contracts here that were already set up. I have my tasting and design questionnaire, which I'd already set up and I sent to the clients here. Basically asking the questions here and setting that up, the pertinent information that I want from them. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Good question.
How do you get the pretty roses in the back? Those are so cute.
Those are templates. That's a template. That's a screensaver. That was I forgot where you find it at. There,
It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be up towards the top there. Keep scrolling up
brand.
and go, yep, brand preferences right there, backgrounds.
Change backgrounds. Yeah, so it's a background. It's a background that I selected. Yeah, you have a lot of different options there. Okay. All right, so we will continue through the account settings option. You have your online scheduling set up here, where you can set up your calendars, where you don't have to use you don't have to use a Calendly or outside tool for setting up your online scheduling. You can do it right through the app. You have your users. If you have multiple people on your team, you can set them up. You have your plan information, your integrations here. You can integrate with Zoom. So if I'm doing an online schedule, Zoom is added into my account here. I can use Zoom for my online meetings. You can have QuickBooks here, Zapier. Somebody asked about Zapier, is right here as an integration. And then they have some other tools here for photographers. We have the texting here. Again, this is in beta, and they have the different plans here for texting. You have your documents and your emails here, custom fields where you can create custom names. I created a custom field for a partner name. You have your workflows here. These are my workflows that I designed for custom workflows. And actually, these will eventually become available through 17 Hats for those who are interested in actually purchasing these workflows that work so great for me. So these are tried and true workflows. I've been using this. I've been tweaking them along the way. And I feel like it really takes into account the different caveats that you have when you're going through the client journey. And it really creates an upskill experience for the client. Okay. We have our lead capture forms, which I mentioned. I have a one for my website, and I have one for Facebook, and I have a texting opt-in, which I actually created for the clients to opt into the texting. Okay. Your lead capture form, what I mentioned. Tag management, where you can actually set aside specific tags. We have our marketplace where you can actually buy or get different templates free of charge. Here, lead capture form, autoresponder. So there are different scheduling, there are different options here that when you become a member of 17 Hats, you can take advantage of that are already prepackaged. We have our invoicing options here. Okay, taxing. And our bookkeeping options, our product and service, time management to track your time for billable options. I feel like from a high level standpoint, that was a pretty good overview. What do you think, Jeb?
I'm impressed. I would still be back there talking about lead capture forms an hour later. So
All right.
You went straight into workflows, which are like the advanced area, and it's not even 8 o'clock Eastern yet. So well done. I did want to tell Nevia, in case you haven't seen the chat, I put some links in the chat answering your questions from earlier regarding being able to put your lead capture form in a pop-up, as well as how to use iCal with Google Calendars. We had a couple of help articles on those things.
All right. Are there any other questions before I go back to my presentation here in 17 Hats? Again, texting is a new function that's in beta right now, so nobody has access to texting right now. I think Dolores is on here, and Dolores is the 17 Hats user already. So, all right. Okay. So I will go, let me go back all these screens. Where am I?
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So I got that 17 Hats has the calendaring feature for like scheduling meetings and stuff. What about like managing your own like workload and task management? Does it do that?
To-dos. You can create a list here, your to-do list. And you can actually add it to an existing calendar in Google that you have here. Like I have self-care. You can travel, you can put whatever you need to do here and attach it to your calendar. So you can manage your to-do list here also. Is that what you're asking?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Your tag list, yes.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay. Now if I can find out how to get out of here. Okay. All right. So got it. All right. What in the heck? I lost it. Okay. Good old Canva. All right. So next steps. For those who love 17 Hats and want to try it, 17 Hats has a 7-day free trial. And that is where you can explore the workflows, proposals, and automations and experience how 17 Hats can simplify your business. If you love what you've heard and you know that you want to sign up for 17 Hats, with my referral code, you can get 15% off your first year. 50% off your first year for 17 Hats. And I will send the replay out for you guys to review within 24 hours. Are there any more questions? You guys have been amazing.
What about if you're switching over from another CRM? Do they offer any type of like assistance with setting up like your previous workflow? Just asking.
Can you let me know? It's just, we're among friends. Can you let us know what system you're coming from?
What HoneyBooks, because
Okay.
I had like this really cool, like I didn't set it up before. So I'm like, and it took me months to kind of get used to it. And I don't know. I feel like I might need a little bit of help with like transferring over because I have a workflow already, but I would, just was trying to see because it's a lot of typing.
Jeb, do you have a recommendation for that?
I do. Yeah, I've only been silent because I'm trying not to step on your presentation. So
no, I don't know if there's
anytime you want me to take something, I'm happy to take it.
No. I don't know if there's, since she's coming from HoneyBooks, since I didn't migrate over. So I don't know. Yeah.
So we don't offer a concierge service for getting you from HoneyBook to 17 Hats. However, we do have, Sabrina clicked and showed the marketplace earlier. We have a section in there called Marketplace Services, where some of our ambassadors are set up to help people for a fee get those things pulled over. But we don't offer it, internally straight from 17 Hats. The other thing that I wanted to mention, I'll put a link in chat, is we are also offering one-to-one walkthroughs where you can talk to Tabor, one of my colleagues, and I'll be back on the schedule soon, but where you can do a 20-minute walkthrough of 17 Hats, so you can kind of, if you want to drill into any particular areas that Sabrina covered, and you can see, how it might work in your business. So I'll put that link in the chat as well.
All right. This was good. Good stuff. I'm proud of myself.
You should be.
All right. Are there any other questions? Thank you for everyone that joined. Dolores, I know you're using 17 Hat. You're one of my students. Can you tell us a little bit about how it's changed your life? I don't want to put you on the spot. First of all, I'm sorry if you don't want to talk. But
No problem. How are you doing?
good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I love it. It's really streamlined my process. I went from paper to I forgot the name of the other little system I had. It was I don't know, very manual, having to type things in for my customers and risking making a mistake. But now that they enter, I've got a lead form and they can enter their own information. They get the confirmation emails. They get payment reminders. I love it. I couldn't live without it at this point. I
Yeah.
couldn't go back to what I was doing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Thank you for that. And it's
You're
good to virtually see you, Dolores.
And yeah, I'm not on camera, but
You don't have to
you
be. You don't have
introduced
to
me
be.
to it in class that time, and I went out
Yeah.
there and got it. I
Yeah.
had it a year before it was set up, but
Well, at
and
least you used it. I mean, it's a game
Yeah.
changer. It's a game changer.
it is definitely.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Thank
on
you.
that note, for getting set up is if you do decide that you want to do a free trial or become a paid member, we have a first 24 hours workshop that helps walk you through all those first steps that you need to do as far as, getting your brand preferences set and getting things up and running so that you can start using it. And I was going to say, thanks for sharing that, Dolores. I'm also, so I started using 17 Hats in my business in 2015. I only became a 17 Hats employee in December. So I'm not just here as like the company man. I am a full 17 Hats user and ended up working for 17 Hats based on being a user and then becoming an ambassador. And it has been extremely, I wouldn't have made it as far as I did without it in my business. That's for sure. And then, yeah, that's all. Just wanted to share that, that I wasn't just the guy from the company, that I'm a user as well, like the old Hair Club for Men commercials.
I'm sorry, I busted out laughing. All right. All right, we're at time. Is there anything else before I
Oh, I
stop?
just have
Go ahead.
one
Go
more
ahead.
quick question.
Sure.
Can you use 17 Hats on the go? Like, say, if you get a lead or something, can you like send them something via your phone, an app or something like that?
Sabrina, you're muted.
There's a mobile app here on my phone, 17 Hats. So yes, there is a mobile app. You can do everything on the go.
That's on Android and iOS, and it is a fully functional app. It's not just a repurposed website. So it operates just the way that it operates when you go to it on your desktop.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
I had one more question. Sorry, I know
Sure.
we're running late here. I wanted to know, can you also send, so like I also do classes and stuff like that. Can I also separate out folks according to, how they're coming in? And can you send out to your like email list an email blast or something like that? Or is that not really something that 17 Hats does?
That sounds more like an email marketing tool, right? That
Right.
sounds like more of like a flow desk or a constant contact type deal.
Okay.
Yeah, this is no, you can't do a blast like that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
To the first part of your question, yes, you can separate people out into groups and categories using, for one thing, you can have different lead capture forms. So you can have one lead capture form for a course you teach and one for your services. And when those come through, you can have tags automatically applied so that you know, like, if so-and-so uses this lead capture form, apply this tag. So that's ways that you can keep people separated for organization within your account. As far as email marketing goes, we are not a marketing platform. However, we do, because of our connection with Zapier, what a lot of people do is use that lead capture form that when a new contact comes in, they automatically send that contact over to their MailChimp or, you know, whatever email marketing platform they use from the capture side of things. But we would not recommend sending blast emails from within your account. Primary reason being that the more that you send, the more that you risk getting marked as spam, and you don't want
Right.
your invoices going to spam. So it's definitely good to keep those things separate.
Okay, great. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Sure.
I wanted to show you here a copy of a form that I created for my cake program. And I had an actual tag called Accelerator here. So that's a different way for you to capture people coming in a different way and tagging them so that you know specifically who is here for what reason. Yeah.
That's
that
great.
helps.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep. All right.
I
If there's
do
not-
want to just say too on that blast email, you don't want to do blast emails, but there are times where you may want to email like, 20 people or something. You can do that from within 17 Hats. We just officially are not an email marketing platform, and advise not using it for that. But you can,
Mhm.
one example I give is for the company, we use 17 Hats in our company. And I interviewed Sabrina recently. So I interviewed Sabrina and like 10 other ambassadors, and I forgot to send them all something. So I made a workflow that all I had to do was go and click the checkbox on each of their projects and then do a bulk action where I started the workflow that sent them all an email saying, hey, don't forget that our recording session is coming up. So you can do things like that. You just want to leave your marketing to the marketing companies.
Thank you. That's great.
You're welcome.
All right. Anything else? We're 6 minutes over. I want to be cognizant of everybody's time. Okay. I will stop the recording.